Come this way. Hello, hello. I am coming to you from my classroom at Harlan Elementary School. I'm at the school today, and it's kind of strange, I'm not going to lie, because I feel like I am standing up here teaching to a bunch of ghosts because there is nobody in the seats and the classroom is completely empty, yet I'm standing up here giving a math lesson. But we're going to do it anyways because I know that you at home are watching, regardless how weird it is. Um, uh, Today I'm using something called a swivel to help me record. It's a really cool device. You put your phone on it and you have this little remote, and anywhere I go, the swivel follows. See, watch. I'm over here, and the swivel follows. And then I go over here, and the swivel follows. So, yeah, I think that's pretty cool. So, we're going to be using the swivel to help me record some of my lessons today. Now, this video is for block 1. Okay, this is Dragon Day 9, block 1. So if you are not in my block 1, you need to go find another video because we're covering something different in block 1 than we are the other classes. And if you are in my block 1, welcome to the video. Oh, swivel. See what happens when I move the remote? It moves. Welcome to the video. All right, so let's go ahead and I guess just hop straight into the lesson. Not yesterday, well, it is yesterday for me because I'm teaching today and it's Tuesday, but on Monday, I had you all doing rectilinear area with tiled figures, right? And sort of what we did, and remember, we've done rectilinear in class before, so this should kind of be like review to you. But what we sort of did was we had these crazy looking shapes, right? And these crazy looking shapes had tiles in them, like so. 1, 2. I'm trying to hurry. They had tiles in them, like that, right? And what we did was because remember, we have steps. We have steps to this, to rectilinear area. First, you separate, right? I spell separate right? I'm not sure. First, you separate, right? You separate your rectilinear figure into 2 separate shapes, right? Second, what do? Second, we draw the boxes. So I'm going to have a box here. So I'm going to say, draw the separate shapes. And then I do my separate shapes. I'm going to make sure I include my tiles in them. Boom, and then boom. Okay, so draw the separate shapes out so that you don't get confused, right? Third, you find the area. I hate this board. You all know I hate this board. It's already messing up on me. You find the area of both shapes. Now, let's look at this. If we're looking at our rectilinear figure here, how many do we have as our length? Well, remember, length is is how tall something is, so it's always going this way, right? Width is how wide something is, so it's always going this way. So our length is going up and down here, right? And so we're going to count down for our length. 1, 2, 3. So it's 3 units. So over here I'm going to write 3 units. Awesome. And then our width, we're going to go across. 1, 2, 3. It's another 3 units. Oh my gosh. And so we're going to write 3. I want to go slow because it's messing up on me again. 3 units over here. Are you with me so far? Yeah. We found the dimensions of our top shape. Now we've got to find the dimensions of our bottom shape, right? So we're going to do the length again. 1, 2, 3. 3 units. Over here we're going to write 3 units. And then we have to find our width. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So this would be 6 units, and over here we'll write 6 units. You with me? All right, so just to recap what we did. First, we separated our rectilinear model, right? Second, we drew out our separate shapes. As you can see, I drew the square here. I drew the rectangle here, right? Third, we found the area of, well, we haven't found the area yet. We found the dimensions. Now we're finding the area of both of these figures. Now, since I have the length and the width of the square, remember area is length times width. Length times width, because it's almost like an array, right? Area looks a lot like multiplication arrays where you have rows and columns, right? So we're going to multiply 3 times 3. Let me do a different color for you. I'm going to multiply 3 times 3, which is going to give us 9 units what? What do we have to do with area? You remember? We have to put that small 2 up top. That's called square. All right? 9 units squared. Good. And then we found the area for the first one. We have to find the area for the second one. 6 times 3, or 3 times 6. 3 times 6 equals 18 units what? Squared. Squared. 3 times 6 equals 18 units squared. But we're not finished yet because we have areas of 2 completely different figures, right? And we've got to find the area for this whole gargantuan figure, right? So what do we have to do? We have to take those areas and we have to do our last step, which is step 4, add the areas. Can you see that? I don't even know. Can you see that? Oh yeah, you can. Step 4, add the areas. So now we're going to add them so that we can find the combined area of this rectilinear figure. So I've got 9 units squared and 18 units squared. No, let's do this one. 9 plus 18, and that is going to give us, let's just put our equal sign over here. Let's see, 17, carry the 1, 27 units squared. And if you need To check it, all you have to do is count the total amount of squares that are inside, because remember, area is inside, so we multiply. We use AIM. Remember that? Area inside, multiply. So let's count the blocks inside. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24, 25, 26, 27. Phew, thank God that was right, because if it wasn't, I would have to redo this video again. All right, so we are correct in saying that our area is 27 units squared. Do not forget that for area, you have got to put squared, okay? We don't do that for perimeter, but we do it for area. Okay, so that was kind of a review for what we did on Monday, okay? Now we're going to move on to, we're still doing rectilinear area, but we're not going to have these tiles to help us anymore, okay? And again, this is still a review for you all, because this is something that we have done in class. But this time, we are going to be doing it without the tiles, okay? So let's go ahead and erase this. And over here, I'm going to bring you to your I can statement. If I can, I got to be really careful. Oh gosh. I hope my phone doesn't fall. All right. Woo. Let's bring you over here to your I can statement. We have, for your standard, we have I can find the area of a rectilinear model by adding two areas of my decomposed figure. Only this time, and so it's the same I can statement that we had on Monday, only this time you're not going to be using tiling. You're just going to be using dimensions strictly. All right? And then for our language I can statement, I can use strong vocabulary to defend my answers when solving area of a rectilinear figure. What I want you to do there is just as you're solving it, I want you to think about those vocabulary words in your head. That way you can be using them. That way when and if we come back to school, you are ready with that vocabulary to explain to partners and stuff like that, okay? So I want you to be listening to the vocabulary that I'm using, and I want you to make that a part of your work as well, okay? All right, let's move on. Let's go this way. Oh. Nope. Push that out of the way. All right. Let's go back. Oh my goodness. Okay, I think we did it. Wait. Nope. We're too close. Let's go back. Oh, this makes me so nervous, guys. Okay. Woo. I think we did it. I think we're good. All right. So far. Boom. All right, so let's go ahead and move on to our next thing. I'm going to get your assignment out here just so I can see what it is we're working with for sure. Block 1. Here we go. Okay. Oh, whoa. Gotcha. Yeah. Okay. So let's do an example. I do not like that. I can move it up just a little bit. That. Can you still see everything? Okay. So let's do an example of what rectilinear models look like without the tiling, because it does require a little bit more brain work, but you'll get it, I promise. All right? The way I teach it, you're going to be just fine. So let's make a model again. I don't know. Let's say it looks like that. If you want to, oh, that is yellow, and you can hardly see that. And now I'm realizing that I probably shouldn't use yellow. So I'm going to go back over it. If you want to do this with me at home, I strongly suggest doing so because I think that it will help you out. So if you want to get a sheet of paper and if you want to pause me for a second and get a sheet of paper before we begin doing this, and then you want to do it with me, that would probably help you. So go ahead and do that if you want. Otherwise, we're gonna get right into this, okay? So let's say I have this figure here, all right, and I'm gonna give it some dimensions. Let's see. I'm gonna say this is, I don't know. This represents 6 inches. And then we have, let's see, we have, this looks a little bigger, so let's say this is 8 inches. And let's say that this is 3 inches up top. And let's say that over here we have, that looks to be half. Let's say we have 4 inches here, and let's say we have, let's say we have 4 inches here. Okay, so take a second to get that down if you are using, if you are taking notes with us. Go ahead, this is 8 inches here. 3 inches up top. We have a length of 4 inches here. We have a width of 4 inches here. And 6 inches here. All right. So, guys, with models like this that do not use tiling, we still do the same exact steps. Okay? Now, remember, step 1 was to split or to separate the model into 2, right? Split or separate the model. I don't care which term you use. You can say split or you can say separate. I am going to split it. There's technically 2 ways we could do it. We could add on to here, or, and, oh, hold on. No, I think we're good. But I'm going to split it this way. Okay? That's where I'm going to split it. So go ahead and split it there. Step 2 is to draw out your new shapes so you don't get confused. So I have sort of a longer, skinnier rectangle up top, and at bottom I have a wider, fatter rectangle. Okay? And I know it's not perfect, but just bear with me. Okay? Now, step 3 is to find the area of both of the shapes, right? In order to find area, we have got to find the dimensions. So let's use this rectilinear model as a map to help us find the area of this, right? Now, let's focus in on this first shape up top, okay? What do you notice? What dimensions do we have for the top shape? You should notice that we have both a width and we have a length, right? Because if the width up here is 3 inches, that means that the width at the bottom has got to be what? 3 inches. So we actually have the width of this rectangle already. We don't have to find anything. We have 3 inches up top, 3 inches on bottom. We have a length of 4 inches here. If it's 4 inches here, that means that it's going to turn into 4 inches over here. Now, do you all see that? It used to be 8 inches, right? but we split that shape, right? And when we split that shape, we split that length. So now, this much of the shape is going to be 4 inches. Got it? So we have 4 inches here. We're going to put 4 inches here. Now, since we have the length and the width of our first figure, we can go ahead and solve for area. Remember, area equals length times width. Area is inside, so we multiply. Area equals 3 times 4. Area will equal 12 inches squared. And that's for our first one. That is for our first block up here. Our first shape, our first rectangle. We got that? Now, let's look down here for a second. I'm going to get a new color so we don't get confused. Let's look down here at our bottom rectangle. Okay? Now, notice that this full line here, when we divided our rectangle, when we separated our rectilinear model, we added some width to there. Y'all see that? Now, what does it say that the combined width of everything is at the bottom? It says 6 inches, right? The width was 4 inches, but we added some here. And when we add it, it says that it's 6 inches down here. So if it's 6 inches at the bottom, that means we've got to add 2 more inches up top and make this 6 inches because we added to the width. Do you see where we added to the width here? So we had to change our width. So our width over here is going to be 6 inches. Whoops. Woo. Spins quick. Okay? Are you with me? Now, if you look over here, we do not have a length anymore. Here, I'm trying to erase this. Yeah, if you look, do we have a length for our bottom rectangle? No, we don't. And so here's how we're going to find our length. Now, what did the length used to be for this big length of this big rectilinear model? It used to be 8, right? Oh no. It used to be 8 inches, correct? But when we separated our figure, we took that 8 inches apart. We took it apart. It's not 8 inches anymore. And we said that the length of this top one, of this top rectangle, was 4 inches. Now, if this whole thing combined was 8 inches, and this top part was 4 inches, how can I find what this bottom part is going to be for this bottom rectangle? What I would do is I would take my total of 8 and I would subtract the 4 inches that I take away. 8 minus 4, because remember we took away 4 inches from this 8. 8 minus 4 is 4 inches. So that must mean
There's been in the auditorium by 10:50 for a meeting and practice your social distancing.
we got to be in a meeting at
And if you would like to come
10:50.
down and grab a plate before the meeting, you may may do so.
And practice our social distancing, and if we want to grab a plate, we may do so. Okay, so we subtracted what used to be our total from 4 because we took 4 away from that 8, and we got 4 inches. So our length has got to be 4 inches. And if you look, 4 plus 4 equals what? Equals that 8, right? So if it's 4 over here, what does that mean it has to be over here? 4 inches. And so we do 4 inches over here. And now we have the length and the width of our bottom rectangle, so we can find the area. So let's find the area of it. Area equals length times width, so area equals 6 times 4. Area equals 24 inches squared. But am I finished? No. All I have are 2 areas for 2 separate shapes. But we got one big O shape right here that we have to find the area for, right? So what am I going to have to do? I'm going to have to add those areas together. And I don't know where I'm going to do that. I guess I'll do it right here. Because step 4 is to add the areas together. Let's see if I can do that right quick. If this board would work for me. Urgh. So what we're going to do is over here, we're going to add the area of 12 inches squared and 24 inches squared. And we're going to get 2 plus 4 is 6, 10 plus 20 is 30, 36 inches squared is the area of the entire object. Do you see that? Yeah? If you follow the steps, it makes it easier. Remember, it's 4 steps. First, you separate it. Then, you draw the separate shapes. Third step, find the dimensions to find the area. Fourth step, add the area together. All right? 4 steps. You could technically break that into 5 steps, but I've already said 4 steps, so we're going to stick with 4 steps. All right? So, let's do another example together. Then, I will do an example on your worksheet with you, on both worksheets, and then we'll be done. Okay? So let's do one more together. It's time to, oh gosh, I've been talking a long time. All right. Let's find this area of this shape. Here we go. And let's go ahead and give some dimensions. Let's say we got 10 centimeters over here. Let's say we have, oh gosh, 2 centimeters over here. Let's say we have, and again, you can write this down. Let's say we have, I don't know, 3 centimeters over here. Let's say we have, yeah, there's no way. Oh, no, because that's for that. Okay, never mind. Let's say we have, I don't know, help. Usually I ask my students for help at this point. Let's say we have 8 centimeters here, and then let's say at this top one here we have 5 centimeters. Okay, are we good? Go ahead and you can pause me, get that written down if you need to. I'm going to go ahead and move forward, okay, because this video is getting long. So remember our first step, step number 1, what do? We separate it, right? I am going to separate it this way. Let's see. Yeah, I want to do this. Boom. Boom. Okay. You with me? First step, separate it. Second step is what? Right. We are No one actually said anything, but I assume you got the right answer. We are going to draw out our new shapes. We have a big top, and we kind of have a small bottom like that. We good? All right. Step 3 is what? Find the dimensions and find the area for both figures. All right. So here we go. Let's find the dimensions. Let's start with the bottom square because look, we have the dimensions for both. We have both dimensions. We have dimensions for both. We have both dimensions for this square already. We don't have to solve anything. We don't have to add or subtract. We already have it here. Our width is 2 centimeters, so I'm going to write 2 centimeters. And our length is 3 centimeters, so I'm going to write 3 centimeters. If it's 3 centimeters over here, that means it has to be 3 over here. 2 up here, that means it has to be 2 up here. Oh, goodness. Let's say it's got to be 3. Change that 2 to a 3. It's got to be a 3. Yeah, Mr. Roy messed up. So let's change that 2 centimeters to a 3 centimeters. Back like look, I'm changing that to a 3. Boom, because 3's good. But anyway, anyways, we have the length and width to our bottom square. 3 times 3 is what? It's 9. Area is going to equal 9 centimeters squared. We found the area for our first. Come over here. Over here, please. We have the area for our first square. Now let's find the area of our second shape up here. Find the dimensions. Now look, remember, it was 5 centimeters up here, right? But we added to it for our width. We added to it. How much did we add? We added 3 centimeters. See that? We added 3 centimeters. If this top one is 8 centimeters, that means this bottom one must also be 8 centimeters, right? And if we look, 5 plus 3 gives us 8 because we added 3 centimeters. Are you with me so far? So we know that the width is 8 centimeters. Now let's look over here. Our big, huge width used to be what? It used to be 10 centimeters, but then we split it, right? We split it and we said this one was 3 centimeters. So what I'm going to have to do is I'm going to take my 10 centimeters, right? Take my 10 centimeters, and what am I going to subtract from that? What did I take away from that 10? Took away 3, right? So 10 take away 3 is 7 centimeters. So my length has got to be 7 centimeters. Because 7 plus 3 equals the total of 10. Okay? So over here I'm going to write 7 centimeters. I'm going to write 7 centimeters. I'm going to find my area. 7 times 8 equals 56. So area equals 56 centimeters squared. I have found the area for both shapes. Now I am going to have to add them together. So I'm going to have to add, and I don't have anywhere, oh, right, yes I do. I'll use a new color. So I'm going to have to add 56 plus 16. 6 plus 6 is 12. Put my 10 in my 10 spot. 10 plus 5 is going to give me 70. So my area for the whole thing is 72 centimeters squared. We got that? I know it's a lot, but I think you all got it. I think you all can do it. Okay? And if you can't, and if you have questions about it, please, guys, do not hesitate to message me, send me an email of some sort, letting me know what you have a question of. If I need to do extra videos, I'll do an extra video right quick, okay? Promise. Are we good? Okay, so now that we've done that, let's go ahead and do your worksheet, because all I have is 5 minutes left. Your worksheet here, number 1, well, this first worksheet, you actually have 2 worksheets today. You have a total of 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, of 16 problems, okay, today. It's not too bad. This first worksheet, it separates the area for you, okay? Now, it doesn't separate the area. It separates the rectilinear model for you, okay? So you don't have to do step 1 because it already done step 1 for you. All you have to do is find the area of both figures, add them together after you draw it, okay? Now, the second worksheet, you are going to have, come over here. Come over here. Okay. You are going to have to split it yourself. Okay? The second one, you're going to have to split it yourself. So I'm going to do the first one with you because you have to split it yourself on this. I'm not going to do this one with you because I feel like that's going to be easier for you. But I am going to do the first one on this page with you. Okay? So your number 1, it's got something that looks like this. And we have 9, 2, 4, 2, right? Remember, step 1 is to split the model. I'm going to split it. I'm going to split it this way. No, I'm not. You can split it either way. I'm going to split it this way. Okay? Then I'm going to draw my separated figures. I don't know why it's going crazy all of a sudden. Okay? Draw my separated figures. I have the dimensions. I have both dimensions for my top figure. I have the width here and I have the length here. So I'm just going to transfer that over here. The length of this upper rectangle is 2. The width of this upper rectangle is 9. And we're just going to go ahead and call these just units. Okay, guys? Since it doesn't give you centimeters or inches or anything like that, we'll just go ahead and call them units, okay? So I can go ahead and find the area of this. Area is length times width. Area equals 9 times 2. Area is going to equal 18 units squared. Are you with me? Okay, let's go down to our bottom rectangle. We have the width already. If it's 2 down here, that means it must be 2 inches up here, right? Okay, and so we're going to have to find the other width here. Not width. We're going to have to find the length here, right? It used to be a whole of 4, but we split it, right? And when we split it, we said this was 2, which means this has got to be 2, right? And if this is 2, and this whole thing used to be 4, that means we have to say 4 minus 2, which is going to give us 2, which means this part has also got to be 2, right? If this is So we have 2 and 2, 2, 2. Because if it's at the top, that means it has to be the same for the bottom. To the left, same for the right. All right. We have enough information to solve our area for our bottom. Rectangle, area equals 2 times 2. Area equals 4 units squared. But we are not finished because we have to find the area for this entire thing, not just 2 separate areas. So we're going to take those areas, 18 and 4, and we're going to add them together. 8 plus 4, 12, carry my 1, 22 units squared is your area for that first one. Okay. All right, so that is how you do it. Please complete this first page and this second page today. If you have any questions, please, 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 please let me know. I know this was a long video, but this was kind of a more difficult concept, okay? Again, guys, please be healthy. Please be safe. I miss every last one of you. Hopefully we'll get to be back in school soon. But until then, I will see you on Friday, okay? I'll see you on Friday where we will be discussing something new, okay? Bye, guys.